Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer, the Fury, the Silence and the Fury, that's what it's called, that's what this product is called. Where today, I guess we're going to finish embarrassing Itza. It turns out they were woefully unprepared. We have finally found their units. It turns out they do have armies. They just weren't in any of the places they needed to be. How many settlements do you have left? Another 5, so they must mostly be east. I guess we can see Subatun. This stuff all belongs to the dwarves. This is a whole different things going on over there entirely. So yeah, I guess Itza must just extend to the coast over here. Well, I mean, for the moment, let's keep acquiring ruination, right? We can fill out this this herdstone. It's got a pretty large area. Although it's interesting, it's not really showing us the there we go. Not showing us the blood ground the way we want. Also, it's a little bit of a bummer that when you click on that, it shows you all of your blood grounds. Also, wait a second. Did I never... No, okay. I did perform the ritual here. That's weird. It's weird that that button says perform ritual at this level of zoom. This one is still live. This one we have not actually done the thing on. Maybe I should, but I think I want to just go ahead and sweep up the rest of the jungle before we get out to that. So, for the moment, what is there to do? I guess chase lizard men through the jungle. Who has skill points? I dare... Oh, it's the map guy. I don't have any idea what we're going to do with this character once he's done with this. He'll probably be an army guy, right? Rather than a, You know, having a Wargore for map actions might be useful, because the Wargore action against settlements is to punch holes in the wall rather than to damage the garrison. And as you saw in that last battle, we could have really used an extra hole in the wall or two. Maybe we do build him up into a map character. And unfortunately, giving him spending a skill point has reset his movement command, because that is how that works for some reason. Okay. So we probably ought to finish off Itza, right? Let's... Where is Torox? So Torox could just hit that settlement if he's moving around in raiding mode, which we cannot set him in while he's in this settlement. Yeah, without even having to spend any momentum. We just make it. Not terribly likely to actually get an assault off. Can we at least see what this army is? We can. Okay, so a fair amount of Saurus warriors. This is like the Lizardman sort of base heavy infantry unit, and it's pretty good relative to like the tier 2 units of other races. So they have a lot of pretty solid dudes. They have a blessed Carnosaur, lots of fire-breathing salamanders. Honestly, not worried. Maybe Malagor goes everywhere by just using the beast paths. Torox is the only one who does normal movement at any point. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna encircle Axolotl. Interesting. It's telling me I could just do this. Well, hold on. We're gonna bring at least one other army with us at the very least, for XP reasons. Alright, it was worth a shot. You know, you still get some XP. Okay, who wants XP? Probably Morgur could really use it. Morgur, jump up to here. And then, yeah, this should be a pretty clean one. Are we going to lose anybody? It looks like no. That is a lot of chameleon skinks. Why is this settlement garrison entirely chameleon skinks? These are just those little skink dudes, but with blowpipes? I don't... Huh. Well, yeah, no kidding that garrison can't stand up to a real attack. At this point, do we need more... Yeah, probably. Probably we are going to get value out of more favor. So, in a situation like that, you can create a real awkward position for the enemy by attacking the settlement rather than the army. If we had attacked Gorok's army directly, they would have had the chance of running off, just waving off and retreating. If we attack the settlement, they have to show up to the battle as reinforcements. They cannot choose not to reinforce at the settlement battle. It's something that doesn't come up very often because obviously in order for it to happen, you have to have an army that ended its turn, not like near a settlement, but not entirely inside of it. And I do think I want the gouged tusks. So I assume they haven't like dealt with the weird corner casiness of it for that reason. You get to be an arcane conduit. Hooray! Can you move out of the trees a little bit? Not really. Very, very little. I'm just thinking it would be nice to be able to go into replenishment mode while still within reinforcement range. So, Itz's Bloodground does contain... No, didn't select it, so there we go. It does contain this settlement, and that settlement, in fact. So we probably do need to go to war with these dwarves. Do I want to have two of my armies just pick the dwarves off? Okay, they have 3 settlements, so it's just the ones right here that we can see. The Chamber of Visions, then these 2 in the mountains. And the one in the northern mountains belongs to a faction that we're already at war with that cannot field armies. So maybe this is overconfidence, but yeah, I think we can in fact split this army off in 2 directions. Split these, or rather, yeah, our whole force in 2 directions. 2 armies to one side, 2 to the other, and be just fine. Although I will say, that is an impressively guarded city. Yes, of course, declare war. Why would I ever not declare war? I love to declare war. What is going on here? Friend, what happened to all of your movement? Okay, He definitely had more movement last turn, didn't he? Or like when we ordered him to start moving. For some reason, he just lost a bunch of it. All right, well, we're going to have him stand there and raid, I guess, and we'll lay the ambush. I don't think they're going to come at us. They just don't have an army in the area. But I certainly wouldn't have declared war if I had not been misled about whether or not we'd be able to reach that settlement. Alright, so like I was saying before, as we continue to level up, the base chance of all of our actions succeeding will increase. So really all we can do for that Minotaur, now that he's past like the important levels, is just continue to do stuff until he hits 40. Just make him do whatever. You know what? Let's get a bonus for our harpies. And yeah, Kazrak should probably get the cap out here. May as well get the ability to hire his own Jabberslides. And then, like, what else does he want to round out this army? He's going to have a lot of basic infantry. With the buildings we're getting now, we could get him a Manticore or 2 potentially. Obviously, a Jabberslide is a big monster. That leaves him a little short on cavalry type stuff. Nobody's really using the chariots. Didn't we? Yeah, you know what? Let's build the chariot building. We have some chariot capacity that could probably be going to better use. And while Kazrak is sitting here in this state, do I want to just buy a capacity up for Bestigors? I think I do. We have enough dread for that. Oops, that's not... Sorry. You know, the X button is in the top right of almost every UI in everything, including most of the UIs in this game. Certainly not all of them, though. Alright, let's see if these dwarves want to wander into an ambush. It's hard to imagine. But unfortunately, the one turn of us being at war with them before actually hitting their settlement gives them time to hire and reposition, and it definitely reduces the effectiveness of our initial push, and I'm pretty annoyed about it. Do I want growth? No. We have absolutely no use for growth. What we do have use for is not really recruitment. We don't really get that much money from raiding. I guess replenishment rate up. I don't think we need bestial rage up. We're doing plenty of fighting. So yeah, they moved a real army. Well, they moved half of an army into Hualatl. So now it is a lot of units. And they have the benefit of walls, and they're pretty high level. So you can see, again, we have a lot of these, like, medium to low melee attack, but exceedingly high defense, very, very high armor type units. Dwarves are just hard to kill. They're just very, very tough. Who do we want to lead the attack? It's probably Khazrak who leads. Malagor's units are fast enough. They'll be good as reinforcements. Alright, just give me a continue siege here. Alright, I do like... So this is a reinforcement range boost for everybody, all over the faction, which is pretty cool. Fairly good boosts for... Yeah, 6 melee attack is pretty nice for a single skill point on a huge class of units like that. It's funny how many different buffs there are for harpies. It's like, we know they're not good, and we're sorry. I'm going to take Hordes of the Drakkwald for right now. I think that's pretty relevant. Let's just have you step up into reinforcement range. What does it give us on that attack now? It gives us a valiant defeat. Yeah, fighting dwarves on walls is a little bit of a nightmare. The settlement garrison has a bunch of actual guns in it. Dwarves with rifles and some organ guns. Okay, you know what? We're gonna let's build a couple of these. I'm really surprised at how long it's gonna take to starve them out. Do I think they'll try to reinforce from the south? I think they might. So if Malagor's right here... No, I'm too close to the settlement. Still too close. What I really want is to be in position to still be in reinforcement range of Khazrak, but also be between these guys and the settlement, so that if they want to run up, we can ambush them with Khazrak as backup. It looks like the narrowness of the mountain pass is going to make that unavailable as a strategy. If we move forward any further, we're going to lose the ability to reinforce. And my concern mostly with losing the ability to reinforce is that then the dwarf army attacks from inside the settlement, and if Malagor's not close enough to make that a survivable fight, then Khazrak's army just loses against the 26 units of dwarves, which I do think is what would happen. So we'll just keep Malagor invisibly in reinforcement range, in the hope that they will try to ride out and attack us in the open field. All right, remove their agent, which lowers the chances of the ambush being spoiled. And if we're gonna clean up, over here, do we want to erect another herdstone? Putting one up right here would let us get all of that stuff. That's not bad. All right, let's head for Oixel. Where exactly did that army that was over here go? I assume they fled to the marks of the old ones. Don't quite have the vision necessary to ascertain. We could buy those extra movement Ungors for our map heroes as well. Maybe I should. He can move slightly further in beast paths than he can in raid mode, so I guess that's what we'll do. Alright, we'll just keep them together. No stealth this turn. And I don't know that we're upgrading any of these. Mostly I just wanted the vision. All right, so I guess let's just hope that our enemies will wander into trouble. Oh, you know what? I need to buy, and I should have done it that turn. I need to buy one of those Cygor summoning items for the caster that's in Kazrak's army. Being the One Eye is such a part of his identity that I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't have a boost for other one-eyed units. Maybe the Cygor is the only one, and so it was like, it's too narrow. But, like, thematically, it's cool, right? Alright, so we will be given a Pyrrhic victory, which looks like pretty... It says casualties medium, but it looks like pretty minimal losses in terms of actual units. From them riding out into the field to attack Kazrak and not realizing that Malagor is going to show up. I'm just going to go ahead and take that, I think. We might be able to fight that better. You know what? Let's see if we can do better. This'll at least be an interesting battle. So they're going to have a small force with a big reinforcement army. We have a large force with a big reinforcement army. And we'll get to see some of our unusual units in action. Now, it's worth remembering, the garrison from the city, which is going to come in from the edge of the map, has a long-ranged siege weapon, the organ gun. So we do have to keep an eye on that and how they're going to use that. I think we definitely want to press them as fast as we can here at the beginning of the battle while we have a local numbers advantage. But it is worth noting that their units are broadly much, much better than ours are. So this isn't going to necessarily be a walk in the park. Why is the one chariot unit's allowed to vanguard and the other one isn't? I guess the Razor Gore is just too heavy. It's a monstrous chariot. Probably want our Cygor on the high ground. And Kazrak himself can start up close too. So Kazrak's on he is on a chariot. I think I'm not going to gamble these wins. Okay, how have they set up? This army doesn't really have much in the way of ranged units, right? They have quarrelers. Okay, they have one unit of archers sort of blended into the middle here, which makes a great target for this. You, unfortunately, do not have a lot of great spells at the moment. Do you have the ability to overcast that? You sure do. Okay, so it's a pretty wide cone. You need to run forward quite a bit before that is castable. Okay. We also definitely want the giant to just run forward at maximum speed. Chariots out to the side because we're going to try to flank. Chaos Spawn, probably just run forward at maximum speed. And then, of course, we're going to have to manage our reinforcement units who are going to come in very slowly. Much more slowly than any of us would like. No, I want to have you specifically targeting the Longbeards. So our Bestigors are largely armor-piercing with their big axes, and as such, they should be pretty good at fighting dwarves. The Ungors are going to be absolutely awful at it. And so we're going to try to use them mostly for creating morale problems, same way as we have traditionally used the Raiders. Nope, it's okay. That's not what I clicked. There we go. I think I'm actually not even going to have the Ungor Raiders fire initially. Let's just try to get around to a flanking position so that I can be inflicting as much morale damage as possible. And the lord of this army, worth noting, is a rune lord, sort of a cleric type. So still pretty tough, can fight, but not really like not a lord fighting unit. So Khazrak should rip him apart if we can get close enough. And we are going to micromanage Khazrak here. Hey, y'all, catch up quick. Keep in mind, just running the chariots around like this is going to have some effect on the enemy units because, of course, they're going to move to try to not let me get the obvious flank. All right, chariots through their archers, pretty good start. Remember, we have charge bonuses and stuff, and the enemy mostly does not here, so we're getting some benefit just from hitting them. The initial moment of combat favors us. Expect things to level out a little bit as those charge bonuses wear off. So don't get too excited about the fact that things seem to be going pretty all right so far. All of you need to just get up here as fast as possible. The Crowfather is going to approach very, very quickly, and that's good, because we're going to need some of those spells. Do I want to just... I probably just want to put up a Cygor, like, here-ish. Just, like, get close, and we'll start hurling rocks at the incoming. I think the giant just running straight into the middle is perfectly fine. So the way the charge bonus works is when a unit executes a charge against an enemy, they get their charge bonus added to their melee attack, and I believe maybe also their weapon damage for 10 seconds, I think it is. So once you've successfully executed a charge, after 10 seconds, it makes sense to break off and recharge because you're no longer getting your big bonus. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you are throwing rocks directly into the rest of the units. So they've got some Slayers here. Slayers are real fast. I'm going to try to focus on the ranged units with this Cygor, as we so often do. You continue to get up here. The crows are probably just not going to be very good in this circumstance. You know, dwarf armor. Tough for a crow to get through. Notoriously, this is a problem, but we do have some other options. So these Razor Gore chariots, you know what? Let's try to form y'all back up here. And I think I was going to chase their lord down with Khazrak, but maybe it's better to try to break these units first. You know, just go now. Just break them now. We got the Harpies coming in. I'm a little leery of... Here, let me pull the Harpies out to the side. I'm a little leery of having the Harpies go too close to the reinforcements. Like, I don't think they're useful right now against these heavily armored units that are already controlled. I'm going to pull them out to the side. I don't want them doing anything crazy just yet. What we want to do is let the enemy siege unit and guns sort of set up, and then use the Harpies to outflank them. Okay, the other Cygors are still... They're making it. They're getting there. Gosh, we have a lot of units that are still just sort of incoming. I'm pretty sure they all have move forward orders, but let's make absolutely sure. All right, Crowfather, what is your ability do? Skull of Rakos. Click it on cooldown for additional wins. I love it. We're going to get to see a penumbral pendulum here, which is cool, but it is also worth remembering that all dwarves have inherent magic resistance. That's just a thing that's true of dwarf bodies in general. Oh no, the chariots ran into each other. You guys, you big idiots. All right, charge them instead. They need it. Maybe we can wait on this. We don't need to expend any wins just yet. Okay, the Rune Lord has turned around. Their other stuff is close enough for the other Cygors to change focus, I think. So... Ooh, Iron Drakes. Those are guys with flamethrowers. That is a unit of flame-throwing infantry. Because dwarves, man. They get the cool toys. They get all the good stuff. Okay, you still, unfortunately, have to get closer before we can actually have you fight. Where are the ranged units in this second army? Let's pull them out into another command group. So you can see our Bestigors are doing a fine job of holding up against these dwarf units, but we're already looking a little tired and ragged before the reinforcements show up. So this is not ideal. Let's see if we can put that Rune Lord away with a quick burst of ranged fire. Oh, also, we can Cygor. How many Cygors is enough Cygors? I'm afraid I don't understand the question. You know, this is cheap enough. This is probably worth doing. I'm actually going to have the Harpies go way out to the side. I'm going to see if we can distract some of the enemies while we're putting this together. Looks like a fair number of these dwarf units are about to break. Let's try to get the chariots out of here, including Kazrak, so that we can reform for charges on what is about to become the new flank. I am frustrated to see the number of dwarf units that are just not giving up, though. We really need some surrenders here, y'all. If you could just play along, it'd be very helpful to me. We may have to give them a little goose. Do we have a good... We do not have a good direct loyalty reduction ability, and that is a shame. Let's see, we could direct a penumbral pendulum like this and probably cut off some of the people who are coming in here to reinforce. I may want to save it. No, let's go ahead and launch one. Magic damage, not totally ideal against dwarves, but it still gets there. I really need these units of dwarves to break so that we can refocus. You help with that. It is extremely frustrating that so many of them are just plain out of leadership, but they will not give up. This is unfortunately just the way of things with dwarves. It's a thing you have to deal with. All right, collapse in on them. Got some casting going. We got Cygors up. We have another chariot, which I'll bring out to the side here, and the reinforcement army is close. Okay, that did some damage. It certainly disrupted their forms. You can see they are reorienting the organ gun and several of their units of guns to now deal with the Harpies. But I think if we just rush them real fast, we may be able to deal with them before they can get in position. And I think I'm going to have the chariot units run all the way out. I'm going to try to surround them, even if the chariots are not in positions where it's necessarily safe for them to attack. I want the enemies looking in as many different directions as possible. Where on earth did my Kazrak end up? He's still kind of in the middle of everything because he doesn't really follow orders very well. It'd be super helpful to me, friend, if you could just get out of there. Alright, well, he'll just ride through some dwarves. That's no big deal. Alright, just push him out of the way. Use your mass. Let's just collapse on these iron breakers. New plan. Target of opportunity. Oh god. Oh, the flamethrowers. So that went well. The the harpy plan went really well. This unit is mostly dead and permanently broken already. Oh, and these ones are just mostly just forming up on this side to fire at my actual units. Well, let's try Operation Can a Harpy Fight a Dwarf Archer? Because I don't know. The guy who usually names the operations is on vacation, so you know. Because I'm not sure, even with all the buffs and stuff, I'm not sure if this is going to go well. I know that I would not do this under normal circumstances. I would absolutely expect that a single harpy will lose to a single dwarven archer, like no problem. Who do I want you to be throwing stuff at? Probably like these thunderers, or you know what? Maybe the iron drakes. The iron drakes are a little bit narrower of a unit, which I do worry about. All right, go and step on their Thane. We got a couple units here of pretty tough guys. Let's see, you two. There's not really much for you to focus on, I guess. There was a unit of Slayers in here somewhere, right? Slayers are dwarves that they're like dwarf berserker type units, and they do not have armor on. Usually a good thing to focus on with your archers. It may be the case that the Slayers are mostly dead already. Nope, there they go. Alright, Kazarak has a nice soft target here. Oof. Yeah, the fire is bad. The fire is bad for my face. Sigor me. Alright, y'all are gonna have to charge a little bit. We should probably get Kazarak out of there, because he is definitely going to get hit with the flamethrowers. And it looks like the Harpies are actually managing it. They're doing quite well, in fact. Alright, so over here we have a little bit more like fair combat. Their heavy infantry versus my heavy infantry, and there is very little that I hate more than fair combat. Let's see if we can fix this. You're just a Bray Shaman, but you should step up because your leadership aura can still be helpful to us. You know, get over there and step on the back sides of these units. Do not let them fight one-to-one. We don't do that here. This Bestigor herd can rush there. These Iron Breakers, tough guys, have gotten in on the Harpies, and I don't know that I have a big great solution for that. You're fighting characters, and it seems like you're doing a great job. But maybe you should come over here and rescue. And then we have a couple units of melee, like, that needs to be controlled, and I know that you're working on it, but, like, you need help, obviously. The Sigor's back there, still doing Sigor stuff. I pulled you all back because you were getting charged by melee, but this is probably the time for recommitting. And do I want to give the Harpies new orders? Like, do I want to have Harpies go after a unit of Iron Breakers? So these guys are tough as hell. I mean, you can see they are 360 degrees armor, and they also have grenades. That's why they have a little ammo bar. But I think we're gonna give these new Harpies the benefit of the doubt. You cause terror. You have bonus armor piercing damage. Or no, wait, they don't have the bonus armor piercing damage yet. We're working on that. Just get down there and see if you can break their morale. These units, these Iron Breakers are having a rough go of it. Okay. Sorry about all the pausing, but you know. Trying very hard here to do a better job of this battle than the auto-resolve was going to. Alright. Enemy Lord has fallen. Here comes the giant. A lot of stuff going on. It's hard to, this battle is hard to comprehend visually. Okay, their morale is suffering. They're not taking a lot of damage, but they are completely swamped and they do not like that. Okay, a lot of these units are partially broken. It looks like their morale is like it's low, but it's holding. I don't think the Harpies are going to be able to break them. Oh, never mind. The whole army's giving up. So yeah, I think we did find the limit there. The Harpies were losing that battle, and I do not think they were going to be able to break the Iron Breaker's resolve. And then as soon as the Iron Breakers start cutting through them in any real number, the fact that they're winning in melee increases their resolve, and so... But we learned some things. Those fully upgraded Harpies turn out to be pretty effective. Got some good kills on a lot of our units. These Bestigors sort of broke the seal on them. 146 kills for Kazrak, because it turns out chariots can be pretty good as long as you apply them to the soft points of the enemy. So this is really it, though. We just broke pretty much their entire army. It's going to take them a few turns to rebuild, and they are going to find that they do not have a few turns left. And I think we managed to do that without losing a single actual unit. We took a lot of damage, but we took it in a very distributed way. And with a faction like this, where you're not really paying anything and there's not even really significant recruiting time on your units, it may seem like it's not a big deal if some Ungor spearmen die or something, and it's not really, but like, it is definitely better to keep a unit alive just for the purpose of being able to build up XP, you know? This is not enough fervor to be worth a loss of rage. Or favor, rather. Let's just go ahead and eat. Let us feast on dwarf, which I'm sure tastes really awful. Alright, we did indeed kill an enemy in battle. The rest of the dwarves got away, because we did not pursue them very effectively. So we are 1 point off of our deadly onslaught. It's probably like, let's just take a level of weapon strength. And then, yeah, look at that. We have so much replenishment that the hit of replenishment from the start of our turn put us back up to nearly full on everybody. All right, Kazrak, let's knock this out. I mean, actually, the city garrison is in remarkably good shape. I do think we gotta press them, though. There's no way that it's right to wait. We will lose a unit of Ungor, and we will be sort of kind of sad about it. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, we should definitely upgrade him to the better chariot. But we should get Feral Fervor first. Yeah, a big vigor loss reduction across the entire army is pretty exciting. So let's grab Underhoof. Underhoof seems good. It says 10%. Alright. And this time they actually meant it. Alright, let's get that Jabberslythe building, and also better Centaur grounds, and let's replace the lost unit of basic melee with a chariot of some kind, perhaps? Oh, he doesn't have access to chariots just yet. Well, then replace them, for the moment, with another unit of Ungor, I suppose. Malagor finishes off the enfeebling foe. It is a little bit of a bummer to have debuted his cool new damage spell against dwarves that resist a pretty significant portion of it. Okay, so they lost the Chamber of Visions, which means their entire society now is in the Mine of Bearded Skulls. And you would think that when they are converted into skulls, that would cause the beard to come off, but I guess that's not how it works. Alright, you know what? Step over here and wait in ambush mode. If they try to come up here and resettle, we'll just grab them and devour them there. I don't think it's going to happen. And the rest of you... So we're probably not going to be able to assassinate any of these units out of the army. Just go have at those troops. Okay, still a lot of lizard men up and running. If we can grab Oixel and put a stone there, though, then the whole area is like really disadvantageous to them. Can't quite make it, sadly. How far can I get? If you do normal movement, yeesh. What I want to do here, obviously, is set up an ambush thing, but I just don't think we move too slowly while trying to do that. Oh, this is a concern. There's no way these guys can reach us, right? So I'm not going to be able to get within... Well, okay, if I move to right here, I have 11% move left, it says. We can sit in ambush mode. Yeah, that's not close enough. It's close enough that I probably get to be reinforcements, but it's not close enough for anybody to wander into the ambush first. You know what we may have to do here is, if they run everybody up to attack Torox, we may have to do a fall back, and then when people try to follow, they'll follow into the ambush. So... is it even worth running down here to spy on these dwarves? We kind of know what their whole deal is, right? And if not, then what else do I do with this hero? I guess I'm going to pull him back here. He may be more useful in the fight against the lizard men, it turns out. The Wild Heart still needs more levels. And then I guess that's it. Unless I want to build any other stuff. Or at this point we could of course buy ourselves a magic item or two. You know, I think I do want one of these. We have enough money to buy both. We're gonna buy one of each. Let's give Kazrax's caster some additional... that's not it. Additional Cygors. You can never have enough Cygors. And then... does Kazrak himself take the thing that we just bought? If not him, then who? We could put it on Morgur, who I think does still need a little bit of... yeah, his Obsidian Amulet's not very good, and his melee stats could still use a little bit of work, and particularly with him having very little armor, I feel like 10% ward save is going to be really meaningful. And the regeneration, and yeah, we'll do that. Alright, let's hope I haven't walked into anything deeply foolish here. The AI does seem to pretty consistently underestimate our forces. And that's just, you know, some races are favored by the way the auto-resolver converts stats into math, and some are not. Alright, it's made no offensive moves against us during their turn. So I think to a certain extent we are benefiting from the fact that the auto-resolver doesn't seem quite to know what to do with us. Oh, would you like peace? Nope, this is... oh, these are the faction flag for these guys had just flashed by, so I thought it was them asking us for peace. But okay, no, we're going to have to deal with the Warden of the Living Pools right now rather than later. Well, we can do that. We may end up leaving the dwarves alive for a little bit longer. Because we may have to turn around those two western armies. Even more unit capacity for chaos spawn, and then oh no, growth down. Whatever shall we do? We're only going to end up with like 50 points of population surplus. They declared war on us, but then they didn't actually move their only army. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. They definitely should have. So they had one of the armies fall back into Subatun. Oixel has an army mostly made up of skinks in it. They also have a lot of cavalry here, which is a little awkward because cavalry are not terribly useful in most kinds of siege battles. Oh boy, the urge to just declare war and consume that army is very high, but we probably don't need to have people coming at us from any more sides than we currently do. Definitely get that. So we do have a 20-unit garrison at Itza. They have an army that is largely composed of blessed units with extra stats and stuff. So that is worrying. An ancient stegodon carrying the engine of the gods. Do I think my garrison can stand up to that? No, probably not. It's just like a couple of minotaurs and some gore and... So this complicates things. Because I want to go wrap up the dwarf thing real fast, but it is definitely a 2-army job because they are actively recruiting as fast as they possibly can, and they still do have a garrison here. And I sure don't want to lose that army. I guess there's no way they could attack us in a single turn. I'm going to go ahead and move south. Let's get the dwarf thing done with. So we'll move to like here. You are going to do a beast path move. Oh, it's not gonna... Okay, I was misled. Once again. That's the indicator for how much movement you will have left when you let go of the mouse button. Seems to not work like a pretty huge percentage of the time. It's a real bummer. So I think what I'm going to do over here, if we click on an army that's in a normal movement mode, we can see the ending of their movement range and then the ending of their movement range if they switch into march mode. So they can't hit Oixel this turn. I think what I'm going to do is crush this really fast with just Torox, have Morgur... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say have Morgur start a siege on that city, but apparently he cannot do that. Well then, maybe we want to do this entirely differently. Yeah, I'll just take this with you. We'll grab... Move fast, replenish a lot, and of course, retreat in the wrong direction, a critical part of that plan. Morgur has now the touch of corruption upon him, which is cool. It's cool, probably. Probably that's like a neat thing. Do we want plus 50% weapon damage on our troops more than we want any of this other stuff? Probably not. I probably want to max out Enfeebling Foe. I do love a very cheap debuff. Do I think I can just handle Oixel? Oh yeah, this shouldn't be a problem. So I'm not going to hit the auto-resolve. Well, actually, I was going to say we should just siege them because look how quickly they'll start starving. No, that's still the right move. But apparently auto-resolving would not have cost us any units at all. I would rather fight it as a field battle though than as a battle where they have walls. And if they don't attack me this turn, then Morgur comes in as reinforcements and we like absolutely crush them. And we know that this army can't provide reinforcements in a single turn. Especially not with all this assaulting going on. Hooray, we did it. Get better at assault units at this point, I think is probably the more relevant of the two. I guess that's true. We could be building something. Build a single siege tower. That'll show them. We'll get 1 unit of Ungors up on that wall, and there's nothing they can do to stop us. So if you tell a unit to... we talked before about how the AI doesn't like to change movement modes. If you give it a movement that can be done entirely while staying in water or entirely while staying on land, then it won't switch over between the two, even if doing so would allow it to take a shorter route. Because I gave it a movement order that went from water to land, in theory, it should have optimized the route and done the best of both worlds. So hopefully that guy's moving the fastest that he possibly can move to the very far away place that he is going. Clan Scryer has performed with the Skeeb of Gur, and seems like a real problem for somebody else very far away from us. Honestly, we might feel the earthquake from here, though. Alright, they chose not to come out and attack me in the field, and now they shall be punished for their cowardice. Oh, right, I was going to leave that settlement up until after we... Well, whatever. It would have been like 8 ruination or something. It probably won't end up mattering. Something tells me we are still going to get where we are going. Torox continues to level up. So Voice of the Dark Gods doesn't necessarily seem critical. With 6 more points left, including the one we have here, we could get to Lightning Strike. Is that an ability that I feel like we need badly enough to... We'd effectively be burning some points. Well, you know, not burning points. Enemy siege holdout time down is meaningful. Replenishment rate up on the army is meaningful. This one's a little bit less, I think. And probably this one's a little bit less. Let's maybe, let's really knock down enemy siege holdout time. I do so hate it. We're gonna go up and grab Lightning Strike. It hasn't been necessary for us so far. At the moment, by and large, we are able to outnumber our enemies, but that may not always be the case, and I want to be prepared for if it is not. So what are we looking at here? They have some portion of a stack and a pretty large portion of a stack. They are suffering the Plague of the Crow. Ha, take that. So that has enabled attrition, but unfortunately, you know, they're sitting here in their encampments and whatnot, so probably not actually being affected by it all that much. So if we run down here and encircle the settlement... Oh wait, sorry, don't be in this movement mode. So what do they have? They have 7 plus 14 plus 9. We do have a numbers advantage. It's considered a close victory. Yeah, okay, we'll just roll through. No reason to do that manually, I don't think. Alright, and that's one more war concluded, and wow, we got rewarded some Armor of Destiny. That's fairly significant. Also, very good trait. And closer we come to ritual time. So what do we want from you now? You got your big buff. Do we want... Yeah, you know what? Let's max out the replenishment rate bonus that this hero's giving, because it is significant. Obviously, this army could use even more replenishment rate. Right, and now that this is over, we can redevote this army to the battles in the east, and then worry about this stuff. Or I guess we could just bring them back to Itza for fear of the guys from the Sacred Pools showing up and ruining everything. So how much better is this going to get? Okay, it's just that, but then, you know, it's 12 points. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be all that hard to get. No walls, it's just an open ground settlement. If we bring 2 armies up there, we should be able to handle them pretty easily, I would think. And then here in Oixel, we don't really need the vision thing. Wait, sorry. This one. Slower movement for our enemies, and then, like... They don't really have a lot of walls or anything. There's not a lot of siege to be concerned about here. I guess maybe we take the casualty rate? Or the improved chaos corruption. Maybe it's mostly for the improved chaos corruption, I guess. We're just going to leave this whole continent a corrupted mess such that no one can ever live on it again. Get a couple more uses of Touched by the Moon. Why not? And then, you know what? I'm going to also put this thing up in this army so that we have an idea of what that ability does, because right now I do not feel like I know. Ak can start harassing these 2, I guess. Start harassing this army, rather, this force. And you just keep being an annoyance over here. So it does appear that we've lost sight of one of Itza's armies, right? They had another one. I wonder if they've gone somewhere, or maybe they're trying to set an ambush for us or something. It's hard to know. Here, I'm going to turn off fast forward. Let's take this back to normal speed. So it'll show us when things happen that we have vision of, because I do want to keep an eye on Itza at least a little bit. All right, the Reichlanders, who are almost certainly the faction in control of the city of Altdorf, which we must burn, seem to be doing okay. Here we go. Here's that offer that I was expecting earlier. We do need to wrap that up. And as ever, the enemy running a lot of units over top of me, not necessarily doing anything, just making me nervous, just constantly making me nervous. I didn't uncheck the go fast button before Itza's turn, I think. All right, mission issued. Cut off the head. Defeat this guy in battle in order to earn the Gunnarsson Kron. Okay, you know, 10% physical resistance is a pretty good piece of armor, actually. That's weird. I feel like we haven't just been getting random quests. That's not really how this thing has worked. How much time do I have on that? 8 turns? We can do that in 8. We should probably crush this just sort of like casually on our way through. Found the other Itza army. Right, because I don't want to come back down here. Oh, yeah, get outside of the settlement. Go into raid mode. Okay, so we won't even need to spend momentum for this. And there's not even an army here. What is the story with this faction? They have 2 settlements. The other one is who knows. Weird. Is it like across the ocean, maybe? Oh, it's this. Weird. Okay, yeah, I have no problem. No problem declaring war on them. So I guess whatever military force they have, it's up there. Momentum! And then just keep running. Okay, additional attrition suffered by defender. I mean, that's pretty irrelevant. And then I guess Morgur just kind of sets where the next area is, and we pop a point of momentum to move Torox to that. We have almost hit our maxed out rampage streak here. So 2 momentum to completely refill the bar. I don't think it should be a problem. Man, it is really a lot of running though, huh? Wait, did it not refill the... It didn't refill the bar. It took my momentum. All right, that time it worked. Weird. So, it's probably okay for him to be just like this far behind because he'll catch up wherever Morgur is going. The question is just, do I want to hit the momentum button again and have him be waiting right here and try to lure the lizardmen into an ambush? And I think the answer is no, because I don't necessarily trust that it will work the first time we click it after what we have just seen. So yeah, I think we're good on that. Starting to get a little bit, because they replaced the lord of this army with Gorok, our chance to assault has gone down. Because, like I keep saying, your chance for success is based on the level of your unit, but then that chance is modified down by the level of the thing you're targeting. So we're better off just trying to kill somebody. Let's try to remove the caster from the army. Hey, we did it. That's pretty good. That will definitely be helpful in the upcoming battle. And yeah, if I press this button again, I am definitely concerned that we are going to just completely lose our rampage off of it. So the best way back, Malagor can actually just make the jump as the crow flies. Kazrak's got to go around, and I think I would rather go around this way, so that if it makes more sense, I can break him off to join this instead. I can't imagine it'll be necessary, though. Aw. Assault units, failure. Who could have foreseen this? We're not that far from Ostland. So a lot of badly wounded dinosaurs in that army. I wonder what they were doing up there. Itza must be at war with another force that is to the north. I gotta say, I really do like the play style, like the way they've converted. Oh, hey, a faction has emerged. So what this means is that this faction was removed from the game, but then in one of their territories, public order got low enough that a rebel army spawned, and that rebel army was actually able to capture a settlement, at which point they become the old faction once again. You don't see that happen that often. But what I was saying is I really appreciate what a good job they've done of, like, this playstyle really feels, especially relative to what it feels like to play most other factions, like we are just an unstoppable wrecking ball, just constantly bouncing from place to place and doing all kinds of horrible things, and I'm way into it. All right, so Insharzan's army is in reinforcement range, but it's pretty weak, and the only good units in it are pretty tired. They're suffering from attrition due to all of the chaos corruption. So, you know, I keep saying who cares, but it turns out it does matter a little bit. Torox can just run all the way to the marks of the marks of the old ones. That's pretty nuts. Here, let's do this. I think with the two of these armies, we should be able to clear the settlement even with both of those armies as reinforcements. In fact, apparently Torox can do it by himself. That doesn't feel necessary, though. Why be greedy? There's plenty of blood to go around. This one we can do a slow raise, right? Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have had Morgur lead that battle. I was just thinking about pushing our momentum back up. But if I'd had Morgur be the attacker, then he would have gotten the trait for defeating Gorok, which Torox already has. Maybe that would have been better. You have all of your everything. I'm going to go ahead and put a point into the chariot. We don't have to keep him on the chariot, but we should have it as an option. And then you, do we want to just grab, well, you have a lot of stuff ahead of you still. Do we want to grab Profane Blessings? I think so. I don't exactly know what these are, but all right. So a Mark of Chaos gained, the Blessing of Filth. Ah, okay, so they're like banners. Passive ability, Horrible Regeneration, resurrects dead combatants, heals the injured before resurrecting. Wow. And 20% or 15% physical resistance, but a massive reduction in speed. That is really cool. Okay, I'm into it. We are definitely putting the rest of the skill points into that box. So all Beastmen are chaos aligned, of course. We all receive powers from the Ruinous Ones, etc. But Morgur seems particularly close. So there's Chupa-Yotl. It is the end of their faction, and it's also the end of my blood ground. So yeah, I guess we'll send our unit down there to Chupa-Yotl. These Itza has not put up as much of a fight as I thought they were going to. There's been a lot of cowardice on their part, in my opinion. Just like, we can just barely make it over the mountains. Excellent. There's been a lot of cowardice on their part, just like sort of running around and not really getting anything accomplished, seeing my army coming and just fleeing. So we're going to put you in a position where you will catch them if they attempt to assault the Herdstone. And you're just going to be a jerk. Wound, man. This is what happens when you eat rats. It's bad luck. I keep telling him. Do we want 10% physical resistance for our murder harpies? Kind of. I think that may in fact be where we are. You know what? Let's grab this. Not like we need more dread, but it's a 2-turn research. We'll just get that done. What's the other thing we haven't even unlocked? I have to put 4 heroes in 1 army. And it's good. Yeah, it's actually very good. We have to embed 4 heroes in 1 army to unlock that. I should do that. It's a little inconvenient. Now maybe we can do it here against Chupa-Yotl and then just have it out of the way. Also, I don't know who this other Beastmen army is, but they're not contributing very much, are they? So I think in the long term, our plan is obviously sew up the war with Itza and then bring some of our armies back down to the southwestern corner of the continent, start attacking the purple lizardmen from there, and just push all the way up that side of the map to eliminate them and finish off the Herdstone that is at the northern part of the continent. And then we could scour the rest of the continent. We probably should. What do we got here? Beast of Rage down, but recruit rank up. We're probably not going to be doing a lot of recruiting over the next few turns. So Narn, the Man Ripper, should probably get better at this. So how many heroes do we have over here right now? 1, 2, 3. So if I bought an increase in hero capacity for Wargors, I could have... Yeah, Torox can spawn Wargors now. Yeah, all right. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to just make another hero over here and just fire some of my crummiest units. Actually, I don't really want to kick any of the units out of his army. Here, you have some units that are not very cool. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. So we'll just reform this army temporarily. So we'll kick you, and do I want to drop like the Great Weapon Centaurs that are only rank 3, or would I rather drop one of these Ungor Raiders? Because Ungor Raiders get their kills back pretty quickly. You know what, let's make it this. So it's 4 heroes in a single army, right? Yeah. All right. So we'll throw you in there. Bounce you over there for one battle. And then, can you spawn any heroes? Okay, you also have the Wargore building. I don't even know what we're going to do with this extra Wargore once this is done, but it feels like we ought to do it. And you know what? I may as well... Right, because the upgrade itself is only going to be 500. 550. It's still fine. We're bringing a new Wargore at level 10. All right, so... +4 leadership for the army, -4 leadership for the enemy army. I like that better. Goraz of the Foul Stink. And he's going to start with... What are we going to do with you after this? We could put him in... We could run him over to Kazrak's army and have him just do Forerunner. But actually, the Vanguard, the Bestigors in Kazrak's army already have Vanguard deployment, right? So maybe we could make him a chariot buffer, and Kazrak's also going to get our chariots, right? Yeah, okay, that's a little silly, but fine. And then, like, Blade Master... So if he's chariot focused, we'll give him a bunch of chariot stuff. Foe Seeker and health. When's he going to be able to get the good chariot, level 12? I definitely don't want to spend a point on the bad chariot, because we're just going to end up wasting, right? Will of the Dark Gods seems like a thing you ought to have. And then, yeah, I think I'll just put 2 points into Unnatural Thirst. Okay. So next turn we'll fold him into Morgar's army, and then we'll attack, and that'll get us the other challenge. And in the meantime... see if we can bait them out into the ambush. You know, it's a classic for a reason. Yeah, we'll go ahead and buy one of those, and then, like, what else do we want? I might hold off and just buy another Champion's Essence next. We'll just give this one to Kazrak, or like another melee hero might not be a bad idea. Actually, like, yeah, this guy is a good target for that. We may as well give you whatever spare leftover characters we have. Probably you should have like some... Armor of Destiny is pretty good, but... Yeah, you know what? That's fine. It's the ability to lower melee attack and... Ooh, the ability to inflict cannot move on an enemy nearby is definitely very powerful. I'm gonna give him that. And then you always cause fear and terror. Right now he always causes fear, so this is just terror. But you know, that's pretty good. What does the potion of foolhardiness do? It makes you unbreakable and gives you a big charge bonus. Well, you are on a chariot. No, we're gonna give you terror. Terror is fun. Okay. I want to make sure we get this challenge unlocked before we end the episode because I am worried that I will forget if I don't. And I think that worry is probably pretty well founded. Plus, it'll be nice to seal up Itza and then start off the next episode with a slight rearrangement in focus. Ah, yes, we have a herdstone over here, or a settlement, rather, just kind of sitting there. You know, we can sail across the ocean and actually burn all this stuff down, I guess, at some point. Oh, is he going for it? He is going for it. The fool. What is that? Ooh, a quaddle. I've never seen one of these before, and I won't see one now. Good day, sir. Well, there's my quest reward. And now that the pools there are ours, that's a ritual completed as well. Right? There's no reason to hold off on that anymore. So all these factions with a black banner that just has that diagonal blue stripe across it, those are pirate factions. Gutterson Kron was a pretty great grab. Okay, so Malagor, now that you've become a greater arcane conduit, we will also grab Doom of Mankind. You know, just the little things. So you just got your onslaught. I don't really know what I want from you. You know, many-limbed fiend is good. Does it matter who we do this with? It's like Kazrak lost all of his Ungors in the battle. I don't think so. Kazrak, go and feast. Alright, and with that, there is no reason to hold off performing this ritual, right? We could reburn Hualotl, but like, I don't know that I care. 56 marks will do. We're gonna set up another herdstone on this side of the mountain anyway, so we'll just add Hualotl to the total at that time. Yeah, we should definitely get you your proper chariot. And 2 skill points for you is, I mean, right, we just make ourselves as good at Cygor as we possibly can. I'm just going to keep them together. Alright, so... Alright, they're trying really hard to put an army back together. Is that... No, okay, it's a different great pale lizard man. So Chupiatl itself has a pretty small garrison. This shouldn't be a problem. You know what? I'm just going to take it like this. It says we're not even going to lose a unit. Okay. There we go. We got our final challenge completed, and we absolutely should be working on that. And then we got to figure out what we want to do with, we got to separate these units back out. For right now, just pick this up. And you do whatever. May as well perform the ritual here as well. So lots and lots and lots of marks. There's still a little bit of blood ground up there. Although it's interesting that the stone at Zahutek didn't get this stuff. Well, whatever. We'll handle it. We'll get there. So I think at the risk of losing our momentum, we could stay nearby because I really do want to get my caster back. But also, I kind of am thinking maybe we have to push north right away to avoid... Because I would like to get a cataclysmic rampage off at least once. And if he waits around for a turn, it is not going to happen. We'll send him off without his caster for the moment. Yeah, 2 of those moves, and then... because obviously the caster has, like, no movement left for the moment. So we'll eject the caster and have her have it target Torox's army next turn. So I think we're going to run one more end of turn sequence here just so we can get things set up so that they will be easiest to come back to. Yeah, we are very nearly in Ostland. So having that fire at the beginning of next episode will be good as well. We can probably put this back on fast forward. I don't think there's anybody in the world that we need to be paying close attention to at the moment. Oh, interesting. The largest orc faction, by far the largest orc faction, has just declared that they are marching on Nagarond. Maybe we need to get back up north. I was thinking that this might be a good time for us to swing through Elf Island and see what's going on. But maybe we need to focus. Okay, definitely movement range. It is for sure movement range time. So, let me eject... I think Goraz is going to a different army. Brabner is Torox's wizard, right? Yeah. And he shall return to being Torox's wizard. I mean, we may as well run over here and search the ruins. That's where we were going to end up moving anyway. Da is a map action character. Solitude is always desired. Okay, so let's see. You are the only one of this shape or color in your column, but not in your... You're not the only one with that color in your diagonals. Okay, this button is the only piece of its shape or color in any of the lines that it is in. That's gotta be right, right? Nope. That's also not the question they were asking. Well, whatever. We were just moving him toward his army. Sadly, he's gonna have a lot of running to do to catch up. But I think at this point... Alright, we'll have you run... for that. So we're going to have him help scout for Torox as well, or at least be up there and help do annoying stuff for Torox. Let's get this army committed to its replenishment. All right, so what do we want to refill those spaces with? We definitely like Centaurs and Chaos in this army. Oh, right. You still don't have your own Centaur building. That's got to get fixed. Also, this should probably get fixed. Also, you know, we have favor. Why not upgrade the buildings that are present? But what you can do for the moment is just pick up 3 more units. You know what? I'm going to get 2 Gore Herd and 1 Chaos Spawn. I think is how I'm going to resolve that. Okay. And I think this is a pretty good place to leave it for today. So, we are at 62 of 150 battles won. It is a lot, man. That's a lot of fighting. We need to have 500 marks of ruination, of which we currently have... Can I get just an actual count? It just tells us what level we're in. I don't know, that looks like 240 to me, 230, 240, so we're almost halfway there. And we still have some stuff to burn down. We have some things to go back to and see if maybe I will be allowed to put up a herdstone in those locations. Fingers crossed. If the only way to get these checked off is to wait for somebody else to resettle them and then to burn them down again, I think we're probably doomed. So let's hope that that won't be necessary. Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today and indeed for this week. When you come back next time on Monday, we will do our very best to finally become a cataclysmic rampage and then take a bonus that is honestly not really that impressive for the amount of effort nor for the words describing it. And we'll see you then.